Hi guys, it's me, Just Linson again, and in this video that I will be dedicating to the month of Halloween, October in 2025, I shall be talking about an old 90s classic, at least to me, that is called The Crow. This movie was made in 1994, but I think that its influence could be felt in other movies, which I'll get to shortly. It's about an anti-hero who wants to take revenge on people that wronged him quite badly, actually. But there are some unintentionally funny moments in the movie, which I'll get to in a moment too. So basically, we get a yeah, we get his backstory right away. Eric Draven. So it turns out that on Halloween night he was murdered by a bunch of gang members in this, I guess, neo Gotham City, with like neon and all kinds of stylish stuff and whatnot. So he's killed, and his girlfriend is not only killed but brutally raped too by vicious people, and multiple times too. So I think that was very brutal. I mean, this is a rated R movie, but did you actually have to show anything? Everything? And unfortunately, this guy is played by this character. Eric Draven is played by the late great Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee. I don't know what his relation to Jet Li is, or Bruce Lee, but he's still a very good actor. In his most notable performance, which was his last, sadly, because he was shot by apparently a blank bullet that was a point blank range. So he really did become a ghost at the end of this movie, which is really unfortunate because I liked his performance, and apparently so did other people that I'll get to in a moment. So he wants to take revenge as a ghost to take out the people that wronged him and his girlfriend, played by Sophia Shinas. And her name is Shelby Webster in the movie. If you don't know that, you'll be reminded several times. You might even see that this guy is a spirit of vengeance. If you ask me, that goes without saying, the reference for that. So anyway, when he comes back as a ghost, as the spirit of vengeance, he takes on a humanoid form that's connected to a crow that's with him all the time, because crows apparently can escort people to the afterlife. Now, I don't know how much of a true statement that is. I mean, and it's actually quite weird that they put that new spin on a lore of the afterlife of you being escorted by a black creature. So yeah, that's new to the death lore. So anyway, I adore his humanoid form, because it's actually quite cool because it looks like Heath Ledger's Joker, but in a black and white format. So that's really cool to look at. In fact, I would dare say that Heath Ledger brought a lot from Brandon Lee's performance when he made his own Dark Knight, Dark Knight Joker. From the appearance to his mannerisms to his deep, menacing voice, which Brandon Lee carries on throughout the entire performance whenever he deals with bad guys. And I gotta say that this would genuinely terrify me if I were to see someone just like a godly gimp coming at me with that terrible voice. It would be actually really awesome and really terrifying at the same time. So bravo to Mr. Lee. R.I.P. to Mr. Lee, by the way, again. And R.I.P. to Mr. Heath Ledger, too. Because they gave stellar performances. Even though Heath Ledger did another performance in the imaginary Dr. Parnassus. But Joker was, by and large, his best role ever. Most memorable. Same with Brendan doing the Eric Driven / Crow. So anyway, he has to take revenge on the 4 gang members that wronged him in the past. 1 year later, during Halloween night, during Mischief Night, that's what they call it, Devil's Night, which is like the prank you would associate with Halloween. A lot of people in the neighborhood, stealing candy, that kind of thing, but more dangerous and more destructive. Like say, arson, murder, maiming people, a lot of other stuff too. So there's that, and there are quite a few members of the group that have to be dealt with. For example, you have Tintin, Funboy, and let's see here, and this other guy called Skank, which, if you don't know where Skank is, I think you should look it up because I'm not gonna see it here. But it's really funny in the movie when they have the captions on the screen on the YouTube. They will actually say multiple times, Skank groans. So unless you know what the character is, who the character is called, it's really funny to see that. And they also have Bai Ling as that beat Top Dollar's sister. Sure. Yeah. I noticed the resemblance right away. But the thing of it is that in the movie they look more like lovers than they are step-siblings, I guess that's what they're trying to call it. So I don't know if they're trying to say incest is cool or whatever. But it's pretty interesting the way they have that set up. And he is one of the other unintentionally funny parts of this movie too. Not because he is a badass character, but because, well, number one, because of the way she looks. I don't know if it's the makeup or if it's just the way she appears in the movie, but she looks like she's half spaced out during the entire portion of the movie. Like she's on something. Like she's a dust hit. Or like I said in the Exorcist 3 movie review, is that she might be a lemon drop addict. I have no idea what that means, but I'm pretty sure the angel dust head means that she's into drugs, cocaine, heroin, or whatever else. And yeah, that's not the only thing that's really funny about this character. But anyway, you also have a little girl in the movie, played by Rachel Davis, named Sarah. And her mother is not listed here for some reason. So anyway, she's the little girl, like a kid that's in the works that lives in the bar pretty much, because the mother's a waitress in it. And it's also implied that she also does like other activities to the bar patrons as well. So eventually, this friendly neighborhood ghost sets the mother straight, to the point that she does do good things for the kids, like make her breakfast and all that. More of the good mommy type things that she's supposed to be doing. And let's see here now. So eventually we learn that beside the crow as a pet / vision animal that he has, he also has a cat, while he lives alive. And the cat actually really reminds me of my own cat, Bella, but we have the gray mark on her head. So that would mean that she's blind, or colorblind, which is really kind of cool. Anyway, she ends up getting buddy with Sarah, which is cool. And for the longest time, I thought that the girl Sarah was played by the girl who played Eva from the reboot of reboot the Guardian Code, but I guess not. So anyway, there's also Ernie Hudson in this movie as a police sergeant, and boy is he great in this movie, because he actually sided with Eric Draven on a lot of stuff, because he wants to take down the people that shot him and killed him and raped his girlfriend and stuff. I should say fiance. Now the question I have is, and I know that this can't be brought up in the court or anything, because the subject will be dead. But is it against the law to share files with a murder victim if the murder victim is already dead, and then come back to the real world, the physical world? Because that's what Ernie Hudson does. He shares information about Eric Draven's death and the suspect involved with the guy's death while he was still alive. So, being that the files involve Eric Draven, I would imagine that it'd be okay, it'd be legal to do so. But because no one has actually come back from death, that's kind of a little bit of a gray area. I thought that's something I noticed too. So anyway, the friendly ghost is goes after the individual that, that led to his murder and his fiance's untimely death and rape. Anyway, the first one to go was, I think, T-Bird and Funboy, and then Skank. and then Tintin. These names are very bizarre and weird, but they do fit the premise that, that they have different stupid names for each other and whatnot. And no, it's not. It doesn't escape me that this movie is about a vengeful ghost. One of the people revenge on two murders, and Ernie Hudson is in there. We all know and love him as the Ghostbuster from one of the Ghostbusters from the movie franchise Ghostbusters. So that's actually pretty funny. I bet you he probably took on the role just for that reason alone. And probably the paycheck, but he seems like a nice guy, so I'll let him slide for that. Now, anyway, the guy that plays Tintin remind me so much of one of the guys from that talk with the scientist Neil deGrasse Tyson on like his podcast. His name is Lawrence Mason in the movie. So anyway, they have everybody dying in a very sadistic way, in a very, very ironic and sadistic way. For example, I think it's I forgot who it was. Maybe in T-Bird or Funboy that died with a by getting rolled off the pier and then having Eric throw a light out and then follow the trail into the car that explodes right before it hits the water. So this is funny because it makes sure the guy is double dead because the guy is taped to the seat and he can't escape. So therefore he dies by water, by drowning, and by fire by becoming a big fireball. And of course, Eric's gotta make one right strike after another. Now, also to note is that because he's a musician and he's into like heavy metal and rock and roll and stuff, that further cements the genres with like death, destruction, anti-heroism, like my boy Shadow back there, and the dark arts and the devil, all that. Even though he's not really a bad person per se, he's just taking revenge on people that wronged him. So he's actually a good anti-hero, if you will. Much better than Deadpool, because this guy is actually invincible for the most part, with one major caveat. I'll get to that in a moment too. So anyway, they have where to pass on memories and experiences of himself and others. He can actually grab onto somebody and give him a good head touching, like grab the head and therefore transmit the thoughts to them, his thoughts to them. He does this little Vulcan mind trick, or Vulcan holder, whatever you call it, to Ernie Hudson, and then to maybe that guy Top Dollar, and then therefore kills him in a very Beauty and Beast-esque way. It's kind of weird and kind of funny at the same time too. But I'll get to that when I get to that. Anyway, so, whenever Draven kills somebody for revenge, he likes to, do like Daredevil does, and put like his initials in the ground and fire and blood and whatever. But instead of the double D's, he will actually put like a line of a crow on it. Kind of like, almost like Raven when she took on that shadow form. So anyway, either it was Skank or somebody, or Tintin, that when Top Dog called like a bunch of his top associates, like a big damn table, they keep saying the word freaking, like that, you know, like he's freaking gonna get us, or like this person is freaking impossible to kill him. That is not another thing. But you know, the movie is really horror. They have a rape scene, they have murder scene in there. They have all kinds of violence, all kinds of gunshots, all kinds of arrowheads going through people's heads. They got property damage, violence, and all this stuff. Why not use the real F-bomb, you know, in the movie? Are you that ashamed of the F-word to use it more often? That's intentional part number one. So anyway, he killed all the people there, even though they weren't actually in charge of the death and murder of him and his fiancée, which they go into some flashback with and stuff. So there's also it said that Micah Welling also says that there's that he has a weakness, you know, rather than being like Subaru, he took out a weakness, and that is the bird, the crow, the bird. That if that's wounded or taken away from Eric, he gets significantly weakened and he becomes mortal again. And you can't destroy him that way. So, at that point, they go on to try to kill this bird with sniper rifles, and they do shoot the bird, and he does get weakened by it. But the thing is that when Micah is in front of an elevator shaft with the wounded bird in his hand, like, all the power you have, I now possess. So you're gonna have to kneel down before me and something like that. To which the bird says, nope. And then pecks her, almost picking her eyes out. To the point that she falls over the edge of the elevator shaft and falls to her doom. And then, Ernie Hudson's over there like, oh, she was such a good bitch too. So, I think that we'll find a way she's just like a badass, and then she just dies in a very comedic way. You might as well put a banana peel right there. So anyway, that's kind of funny too. So then, they gotta fight the main guy, Top Dog, after kill all the soldiers and whatnot. So Top Dog decides to kill this guy now that he's weakened by the gunshots and whatever, by telling him to sword fight after taking a little girl hostage. So it's kind of funny the way he dies, because the guy Eric, mind melds with him, and he becomes he's fighting him, and then he mind melds with him, and then he gets so ashamed of all the pain that he brought on. It's very similar to the past there of the Ghost Rider, in that all the pain that he caused and all the suffering that he caused is all brought onto him in one moment. So, by that alone, Top Dog ends up getting burned out, and then he falls to his death in that kind of comedic way too. And the reason why I brought this up with Beauty and the Beast before was that Top Dog is pretty. He's a nice, pretty boy with long flowing hair, and he reminds me of the main character Jackie from the game The Darkness and The Darkness 2, also based on the comic book, along with the Crow too. So you have this pretty boy gangster guy going up against this ghost that looks like the mime version of the Joker. So it's kind of like the Beast, and he gets mind melded and shorted out, and then falls to his death. And meanwhile, little girl Sarah is over there hanging out for dear life, and she ends up getting saved by Eric before she goes enjoyed him and his wife and his fiance in the afterlife too. But it'd be real funny if they did this like what do you call it, like the character in Scooby-Doo meets the Boo Brothers, in which Rico says to Shaggy, "I'll catch you, I'll get you, I'll pull you up." Only to be only to have him fall through and realize that ghosts are not solid, so that he accidentally lets us fall through to death. So that'd be real funny to me, at least. And they also have somebody here that was from another pawn shop movie, where I think it was Shazam, the movie Shazam, where he also played an evil guy with destructive property damage and all that. So anyway, I enjoyed this movie a lot because Ernie Hudson was a joy. He was very sympathetic to the guy. He was like with his fiancée until she passed on in her sleep, and it was very nice. This movie it's synonymous with vengeance and Catholicism. Like do unto others what they belong with done to you. And I got no end of the light when at Comic-Con this year in New York City. I saw someone that was dressed like Eric Draven, complete with all the makeup and with all the outfit on. That was really cool to see someone younger person, like a little bit younger than me, enjoying this movie as much as that, to dress up like that. I even took a picture with the guy, and he was very, very nice about it too. So yeah, and also, little girl Sarah put in a line that says that the best way to keep people alive is to always love and remember them. That was very good. Also, you always associate the color black with death in America and other Western cultures. So that makes sense that a big black crow would be the symbol for death, possibly vengeance and all that. But also, cat was white, which we always associate with living and joy and all that fun stuff. So the fact that he had the cat when he was alive, and that Sarah is alive and enjoys the cat after Eric's passing, was actually kind of symbolic. So yeah, I enjoyed this freaking good movie. And let's see, well, mentioned jokes. I mentioned it's a distant nature. He had no pity, kind of like Max and Mad Max 2, or maybe no one. And Violin, I mentioned Violin's death and how it's funny. And there were other little white track jokes. I mentioned being the beach reference too. So yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. And was a very good treasure of the 90s based on comic book. But I have seen some of the sequels, and there's much more to be desired as far as films go. Yeah, I thank you for watching my review on The Crow from '94. The original, well, maybe not original, but the Spirit of Vengeance in my mind. It was actually really good. And I did this for Halloween month in October in 2095. This is a very good goth type character. As you can see, he was the character that inspired like the goth girl from Twisted Metal Black. And I love the emphasis on the music being hardcore metal. That was a pretty good musical reference too. I give this my happy face seal of approval because it's awesome movie. And yeah, the character was great. Everything was great. Vernon Hudson was great too. That doll was fun too as a villain who initially didn't was on Eric's hit list, but because he was just so damn stubborn, so cruel, he put him on the list anyway to be killed. After the other guys and the girl too, who very statistically want to kill a harmless animal, crow, the scavenger. If you guys like what you see here and you want to see more of my videos, you can always like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also contact me for future information on my future videos by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707. Or if you like, you can always reach me by follow me on Twitter at PNelsonPro. Also, my email is jjviewingchannel@gmail.com. So that's all you bird enthusiasts out there, all you pro enthusiasts too, because this movie is more of a dog take on the character, and good to see a good old-fashioned vengeance movie. And it's good to see that ghosts can be good, and they could also be evil towards ones that wrong them. Like in the case of T-Bird, Skank, Kenton, and Fanboy. and then talk taller than Micah. So it was so funny to see Skink over there begging and pleading, I wanna die, I wanna die, I wanna die. Please don't kill me. And even though he did kill him, it was only fun when it was murder and play for himself. Also to note is that Tintin, which we remember as the comic book character Tintin, that said murder is fun, as you wrote. Soon enough, as Eric's like just getting used to his powers of intangibility and touching people, giving them memories and so on and so forth. But he eventually get used to it. Much like Patrick Swayze in Ghost. So yeah, I enjoyed this movie again. Something Browns Jazz. And I'll see you in the next video. All your girls and guys in Interland. Ta-ta.